Good day everyone, I am the next reporter in Group 6. Ito sa first slide sa rates of levy, sabi dito is, yung any provinces, cities, and municipalities within the scope of Metropolitan Manila area are authorized to collect the following taxes. So sa letter A is, sabi dito is, annual basic real property tax at a uniform rate based on the real property tax imposed on their own localities. So this only means that in every locality, there is a different real property tax imposed. So sa provinces, yung applicable tax rate ay 1% or less of the assessed value of the real property. Sa cities and municipalities naman is, yung applicable tax rate ay 2% or less of the value of the real property. Sabi dito, special levies is subject to different tax rates based on different consideration and situation, namely. So sa letter A ay 1% annual tax that will put to special education fund. Sa letter B naman is 5% or less amount tax on idle land. Yung idle land is yung mga bakanting lupa. And then sa letter C, 60% of the actual cost of land used by the local government in public works project. Next is computation of real property tax. So dito sa slide na ito, sabi dito is to determine whether that property is subject to real property tax, the following procedure should be followed or done. So sa number 1, una-unang gagawin is finding or determining the fair market value or FMV by the local assessor. Sa number 2 naman is, after finding the fair market value, multiply it to appropriate assessment level to get the value of the property. And number 3, after getting the value, i-multiply naman ito sa applicable tax rate para ma-determine yung tax due of taxpayer must pay provide. Ay sa exemptions from real property tax. So, ito naman yung mga sumusunod na exempted to pay real property tax. So, sa number 1, ang sabi is, real property owned by the government and its subdivisions. However, they may be subject to real property tax if the law constitutes and the same time it is used for personal use, which will be taxable to taxable person. And then sa number 2 naman is, yung mga charitable institution, exempted sila sa real property tax. Yung mga charitable institutions, churches, personage or convents apartment, mosques, non-profit or religious cemeteries, and all lands, buildings, and improvements, only if they are used for the said purpose. Pangatlo ay yung all machineries and equipment that are actually directly and exclusively used by local water districts and government owned and etc. Sa number 4 naman ay all real property owned by duly registered cooperatives as provided for under Republic Act 6938. And sa number 5, yung machinery and equipment used for pollution control and environment protection. So, upon the effectivity of the Local Government Code of 1991, exemptions from payment of real property tax previously granted to all persons, government-owned or controlled corporations or GOCs included, have been withdrawn. So, sa part na ito is self-explanatory na lang siya kasi ito lang naman yung mga exempted sa real property tax. Next ay date of accrual of tax. So, yung accrual of tax sa dito is dapat iba siya sa time or period of payment of tax. Although, the tax must be paid and also meron ding provision about kung kailan ng oras o panahon which tax be paid without penalty. The real property for any year shall accrue on the first day of January. From that day on, it shall constitute a land on the property which shall be superior to any other land, mortgage, or encumbrance. Such land shall only be extinguished upon payment of the delinquent tax. Next ay payment of real property tax in installment. Sabi naman dito sa slide na ito is, yung payment for real property taxes ay dapat daw mai-apply in first prior year delinquencies, interest and penalties if any. After paying the delinquency said, ay pwede na daw mai-credit ang tax payment to the current period. Sinabi din dito na yung date for the payment and other tax without interest ay i-prescribe ng sanggunian. Next ay tax discount for advance and prompt payments. In this slide, sabi dito is, yung advance payment and prompt payment ay magkaiba, especially when it comes to tax discount. Kasi pag sinabi nating advance payment, it refers to those made bago ang actual tax. So in the case of real property, magbabayad daw muna ng January 1 as an advance payment. Kasi yung pag-advance payment ni taxpayer ay may maximum discount na 20%. While in prompt payment naman is 10% lang yung discount. Kasi pag sinabi natin na prompt payment, ito yung basic real property tax na paid on or before mag-deadline na itinakda naman bago ang March 31 o every quarterly installment starting March 31. Nagets nyo ba?